Ever wondered what the difference is between spices and herbs? It's a culinary conundrum that has left many a food lover scratching their heads. Is it the flavor, the aroma, or perhaps it's where they come from? But fear not, dear gastronomies, for today we're embarking on a flavorful journey that will unravel this mystery. We'll delve into the world of herbs and spices, distinguishing between their unique characteristics and uses. So, buckle up, flavor enthusiasts. Well, you're in the right place to find out. First off, what exactly are herbs? Well, herbs are essentially the leafy green or flowering parts of a plant. They're used to enhance the flavor of food and even offer some health benefits. Think of basil, rosemary, or mint. These are all herbs, and they're all fabulous additions to your culinary creations. Let's dive a bit deeper. Herbs are usually fresh or dried leaves from non-woody plants. They're often used in larger amounts than spices because their flavors are less concentrated. If you've ever tossed a handful of fresh parsley into a pot of soup or sprinkled a generous amount of dill over your fish, you've experienced the magic of herbs. Whether you're stirring up a marinara sauce with a dash of oregano or brewing a calming cup of chamomile tea, herbs add depth and complexity to your dishes, not to mention their potential health perks. So, now that we have a handle on herbs, let's spice things up a bit. Spices, on the other hand, have a different story. They're the aromatic parts of plants that are not leaves. Spices can be seeds, bark, roots, or fruit. Take, for instance, cinnamon. It's actually the inner bark of a tree. Or consider nutmeg, which is the seed of a tropical tree. Unlike herbs, which are usually from temperate climates, spices often hail from tropical regions. They're renowned for their intense flavors and aromas, which can transform a dish from ordinary to extraordinary. Think of the heat from chili peppers, the warmth of ginger, or the sweet pungency of cloves. Spices are predominantly used in cooking, but they also play a significant role in medicine, cosmetics, and even religious rituals. They were so valued in ancient times that they were often used as currency. So we have our herbs and our spices, but how do they really differ? Well, the distinctions between herbs and spices lie in where they come from and how they're used. Let's start with where they come from. Herbs, as we've learned, are usually derived from leafy green parts of a plant. Think of basil, mint, or parsley. They're like the cool kids in the plant world, always hanging out in the green leafy parts of town. On the flip side, spices come from the non-leafy parts, including roots, bark, seeds, and even fruit. Picture cinnamon, which is the bark of a tree, or black pepper, which comes from a fruit. These guys are the adventurous ones, always exploring different parts of the plant. Now, let's talk about their uses. Herbs are often used fresh. They're like the live music at your favorite concert, best experienced in the moment. They're typically added towards the end of cooking to preserve their delicate flavors and vibrant color. Spices, however, are the slow burners of the culinary world. They're usually dried and are cooked with the food, allowing their robust flavors to permeate the dish. Imagine a pot of chili simmering on the stove, the spices melding together to create a symphony of flavors. That's the magic of spices. When it comes to geography, herbs and spices are quite the globetrotters. Herbs are typically found in temperate climates like the Mediterranean region, which is known for its rich variety of herbs like oregano and thyme. Spices, however, prefer the tropical regions. Places like India and Southeast Asia are famous for their abundance of spices, like turmeric and cardamom. These regions' warm climates are perfect for the growth of these flavor-packed powerhouses. Why does all this matter when cooking? Well, understanding the differences between herbs and spices can help you use them effectively in your dishes. Knowing where they come from, how they're used, and their geographic origins can help you create an authentic taste experience. So, there you have it, the key differences between herbs and spices. Before we wrap up, here are some fun facts about herbs and spices you might not know. Did you know that in the Middle Ages, spices were used as a form of currency? Yes, indeed. Peppercorns were so valuable that they were referred to as black gold and used to pay taxes and rent. Imagine filling your wallet with cloves and peppercorns instead of dollar bills. And speaking of the Middle Ages, spices were also believed to have magical properties. Nutmeg was considered a potent charm against the plague, and it was often carried around in a tiny silver box as a protective amulet. Today, we might not believe in the magical properties of nutmeg, but we sure do appreciate its nutty warmth in our pumpkin pies and lattes. Now let's turn over to herbs. Did you know that basil has been associated with both love and hate throughout history? In Italy, a pot of basil on the windowsill was a sign of love, while in ancient Greece it was a symbol of hate. Talk about mixed signals. And how about this one? The popular herb, parsley, was used in ancient times not just for cooking but also for ceremonial purposes. The Greeks used to make victory crowns out of parsley for their Olympic champions. So, the next time you garnish your dish with a sprig of parsley, remember you're partaking in a tradition that goes back thousands of years. And here's a spicy fact. Did you know that the heat of a chili pepper is measured in Scoville heat units? The world's hottest chili pepper, the Carolina Reaper, measures over 2 million Scoville heat units. That's hot enough to make your tongue feel like it's dancing on hot coals. To wrap up our fun facts, let's talk about vanilla. While we often use vanilla to describe something plain or ordinary, the spice itself is anything but. Vanilla is the second most expensive spice in the world, right after saffron. This is because the process of growing and harvesting the vanilla bean is incredibly labor-intensive. So the next time you enjoy a scoop of vanilla ice cream, savor it. It's a treat worth its weight in gold. So the next time you're in the kitchen, you'll know exactly what you're dealing with. Remember, cooking is an art, and herbs and spices are your palate. Happy cooking! Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Tune in again for more brain nosh.